In this video, we will demonstrate how the device communicates when they are on different networks. We will utilize a router for the connection and configure the router ports. Let's kick off the video by launching the Cisco Packet Tracer application. Before diving into any project, make sure to create and save your project first. Next, head over to the device selection area. Initially, we need to choose the end devices. For this setup, we will be using a PC and a laptop, and same we will copy and paste the configuration for the other network. Now, connect the end device using the standard 2960 network switch, and we will also need it for other setup. Adjust the arrangement in the center to achieve the right perspective and make it easy to manage. Now, grab the router from the network device section. Choose the standard 4331 router. When you click on the router, you'll access the physical device view. In this view, you can see both the front and back of the router. There's also a device switch that allows you to turn the device on or off. This means you can physically control the device's power state. You can also view the various swipeable cards. Depending on your needs, if you have fiber connectivity or any other type of configuration port, simply swipe the cards to suit your requirements. Click on the config where you can find several options such as global, routing, switching, and interface. For now, we will be using the interface port. Remember the interface port numbers, which can be 0/0/0, 0/0/1, or 0/0/2. This detail is necessary for configuring the ports. Clicking on the CLI refers to the command line interface. Next, we need to configure the port for the physical connection we've established between the switch and the router. Once this configuration is complete, I will explain the meaning of each command. Please remember to take a screenshot for your reference. Privileged mode. Router enable moves from user exec mode > to privileged exec mode #. Privileged mode allows access to more powerful commands, including configuration. Router # the prompt changes to #, showing you are now in privileged exec mode. Global configuration mode. Router # configure terminal enters global configuration mode, where you can make changes to the router's running configuration. Prompt changes to config #. Interface configuration. Router config #interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 selects the gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 interface for configuration. Prompt changes to config if #a router config if #IP address 192.168.1.1255.255 192.168.1.1/255.0 assigns the IP address 192.168.1.1 with subnet mask 255.255.255.0 to the interface. This makes the router reachable on the 192.168.1.0/24 network. Router config if #no shutdown. By default, interfaces are administratively down. This command enables the interface, brings it up. A link 5 changed. Interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 change state to up system message confirming the interface is now active. Exiting interface mode. A router config if #exit exits interface configuration mode. Returning to global configuration mode, config configuring another interface. Router config #interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 selects the second interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1. Router config if #IP address 192.168.2.125.255.255.0 assigns IP 192.168.2.1 with subnet mask 255.255.255.0. This makes the router reachable on the 192.168.2.0/24 network. Router config if #no shutdown enables the interface. Link 5 changed. Interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 change state to up confirmation message that the interface is now active. Summary. You configured 2 router interfaces. Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 192.168.1.1/24 Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 192.168.2.1/24. Both interfaces are now up and can route traffic between the 2 networks. This is the foundation of inter-VLAN routing or basic LAN-to-LAN connectivity. Now, let's proceed with configuring the end device. Choose PC0 and assign it the same IP address range of 192.168.1.2 along with the same subnet mask. The default gateway will also be the same as the router port, which is 192.168.1.1. We need to do the same for both end devices. In the other network, we need to perform the same task. Choose PC0 and assign it the identical IP address range of 192.168.2.2. This will change the network IP address range to 192.168.2, while the subnet mask stays the same. The default gateway will also match the router port configuration, which is 192.168.2.1. We need to do the same for both end devices. Let's verify if the packet can be transferred into the inter-VLAN network. If you check the packet transfer to the switch, you will encounter an error. Switch doesn't have a functioning port. Check the packet is being transferred from the PC to the router. Yes, it's functioning. Now, verify that the packet can transition from one network to another. On your first attempt, you may encounter a failure. However, if you try again, the packet will be transferred successfully. This means both interfaces are now operational and can route traffic between the two networks. This serves as the basis for inter-VLAN routing or fundamental LAN-to-LAN connectivity. You can also check how the packet gets transfer in simulation mode.